This wasn't just another Final Jeopardy. This was a full circle look back at one of the most unpredictable, tense, and quietly dramatic Tournament of Champions runs in recent memory. You can feel it as soon as the category appears. Mythology. Hindsight doesn't help when those bright studio lights are on you and the clock is relentlessly ticking down. Adriana wagers an even $10,000. Just like that, her score jumps to 20,800 and she takes the lead. But if this tournament has taught us anything at all, now let's turn to Isaac Hirsch. He enters Final Jeopardy in a strong second place with $15,000. He also writes down Atlas. Correct again. The pressure now shifts entirely to the wagers. Isaac's wager, a very strategic $6,600. That moves him up to 21,600, slipping just past Adriana by a razor-thin margin of only $800. For a fleeting moment, it looks like that incredibly calculated bet might be enough to steal the win. The entire game is balanced on a knife's edge. But then comes Drew Bassel. He's starting from the lead with $19,200. He writes the same response. Atlas. Correct. All three contestants nailed it. This is where the game theory, the psychology, and the sheer guts of a champion come into play. Drew doesn't hedge his bet. He doesn't play it safe to protect his position. He commits. He wagers everything. The screen flips, the numbers update, and suddenly, Drew Bassel is standing alone at $38,400. He wins the exhibition match in the most decisive fashion imaginable. And just like that, the true Tournament of Champions energy is fully activated. This one moment set the tone for the entire tournament, reminding us that to be a champion, you sometimes have to risk it all. This is the kind of drama that makes Jeopardy. More than just a quiz show. It's a high-stakes mental sport. What did you think of Drew's wager? Would you have done the same? Let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching. And if you love deep dives into the greatest moments in game show history, make sure you subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Welcome back to one of the most intense moments in television, Final Jeopardy. The category tonight seems simple enough: world capitals. 30 seconds on the clock. The pressure is on. Let's see how our three champions handle it. First up, we have Rishabh entering the final round with a respectable $5,800. The clue is about the southernmost world capital. He jots down his answer with a look of concentration. What did he write? Reykjavik. It's a capital, sure. It sounds plausible. But as any geography buff knows, location is everything. Reykjavik, Iceland, is way up in the northern hemisphere. The clue specified southernmost. Rishabh wagered it all, betting the entire $5,800. And just like that, his score plummets to zero. You can almost see the gears turning in his head, that split-second realization that he was on the wrong side of the globe. A tough break for a brilliant player. Next, it's Alison Betts' turn. All eyes are now on our leader, Will Wallace. He came into Final Jeopardy with a commanding lead of $15,200. As his turn approaches, he's already shaking his head. That's never a good sign. He knows something is wrong. His answer is revealed. And what do we see? Reykjavik. The same incorrect answer as Rishabh. It seems the icy capital of Iceland was a popular but ultimately wrong guess for our contestants tonight. So, what was the correct response? The southernmost capital city in the world is Wellington, New Zealand. A classic trivia question that stumped all three of our very smart competitors. Now, it all comes down to the math. We know we got the answer wrong. The question is, how much did he bet? He had a big lead, so he had room to maneuver. This single round of Final Jeopardy perfectly captures the drama and strategy that makes the show so compelling. It's a high stakes puzzle where knowledge is just one piece of the solution. Rishabh went for broke and it cost him everything. Allison played it a little too safe, and her wager wasn't enough to leapfrog the leader. But Will found the sweet spot. He made a calculated bet, understanding that even if he missed the question, he could still win based on his lead. He bet enough to cover Allison's potential maximum score, but not so much that he'd lose if she also missed it. It's a masterclass in game theory. You see the best Jeopardy! Players aren't just walking encyclopedias. They are strategists, risk takers, and mathematicians all rolled into one. They have to analyze their opponents, consider the categories, and manage their money with precision. Every wager is a calculated risk. A single dollar can be the difference between going home and advancing to the Tournament of Champions. It's this beautiful blend of intellect and strategy that has kept us glued to our screens for decades. Moments like Will Wallace's victory prove that even when you don't have the right answer, you can still come out on top by playing the game better than anyone else. It's a testament to the fact that in the world of Jeopardy, the game is just getting started. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more deep dives into the greatest moments in game show history. All right, let's break down one of the most nail-biting, brain-twisting final rounds in recent memory. The category? Palindromic dates. This is the kind of clue that makes even the smartest people on the planet pause. You can almost see the gears turning in their heads, the mental math, the frantic search through centuries of dates. Going into this final showdown, here's how our contestants stacked up. Grant DeYoung stood at a solid $3,200. Amy Hummel was in a comfortable second place with $6,600. And leading the pack was David Erb with a strong $7,200. The stage was set for a dramatic finish. The clue was tricky. It asked for the most recent palindromic date before the year 2000. Think about that for a second. A date that reads the same forwards and backward. Month, day, year. It's a puzzle wrapped in a riddle. First up is Grant DeYoung. He's got $3,200. He takes a shot and writes down his answer. January 17th, 1771. Now, let's look at that. 1771. It's close. You can see the logic. It's got the palindrome feel, but it doesn't quite line up perfectly. 117 doesn't mirror 71. It's a tough break. Grant wagered big, putting $2,801 on the line. With the incorrect answer, his total plummets all the way down to just $399. A devastating hit that takes him out of contention. That's the risk you take in this game. Next, we turn to Amy Hummel. She's sitting in second place with $6,600. Her answer is January 17th, 17. This is even closer. 1/17, 1717. It feels right, doesn't it? The numbers are all there. It has that beautiful symmetry. But again, it's not a perfect palindrome. The format. MDDYYYYI. The single digit for the month breaks the pattern. It's a subtle but crucial detail. Now, here's where the strategy comes into play. Amy made a very conservative wager. She bet only $199, a tiny fraction of her total. So even with the wrong answer, her score only dips slightly to $6,401. This small cautious bet keeps her firmly in the game. It's a masterclass in risk management. She knew the clue was tough and played her odds perfectly. Finally, all eyes are on David Erb. So, what was the correct answer? The detail that tripped up everyone. It wasn't in January. The correct palindromic date was July 17th, 1717, written out numerically. That's July 17th, 17. 7171717. A perfect, beautiful palindrome. It's so simple once you see it, but finding it under pressure is a whole different story. Now for David's wager. With an incomplete answer, his bet becomes the deciding factor. He went for it. He wagered a massive $6,001. It was an all or nothing move designed to lock out Amy if he got it right. But since his answer was wrong, that huge wager backfired. His total drops from $7,200 all the way down to $1,199. And just like that, the entire game flips on its head. David, the leader, falls to third place. And Amy Hummel, with her smart conservative wager of just $199, becomes the new champion with $6,401. She didn't even need the right answer to win. She won because she understood the risk and played the game with incredible strategic foresight. It just goes to show you, sometimes the smallest decisions have the biggest impact. A quiet victory, but a brilliant one, sending Amy to the semifinals. What an ending. Thanks for watching this breakdown. If you love seeing these incredible game show moments, make sure to like and subscribe for more. See you in the next video. What a nail-biter of a Jeopardy! Game we just witnessed, folks. The category that would decide it all, English literature. And let me tell you, the tension in that studio was something else. Let's break down this incredible final round because it's a masterclass in strategy, risk, and ice-cold composure. First up, we have Greg Jolin. Man, what a roller coaster of a game for Greg. He had some seriously tough luck, especially with those daily doubles, which just didn't go his way, heading into Final Jeopardy. He was sitting on just $800. It was a tough spot to be in, but this is where legends are made, right? The clue comes up and Greg needs to dig deep. He thinks he writes, and what does he put down? Pilgrim's Progress. A brilliant answer. He correctly identified John Bunyan's classic allegory about Christian's journey from the city of destruction to the celestial city. A truly iconic piece of English literature. Now for the wager. With only $800, Greg had to be careful. He puts down $231, a precise, calculated bet. His answer is revealed. It's correct. Next, we turn our attention to Wekiai Ranilla. Wekiai played a solid, consistent game throughout, and she was positioned firmly in second place with a respectable $4,600. She was within striking distance, but she needed a little bit of luck and a bold wager to have a shot at the top spot. The Final Jeopardy. Clue appears, and just like Greg, Wekiai knows her literature. She confidently writes down Pilgrim's Progress. The pressure is now on her wager. What do you do in this situation? You have to bet enough to challenge the leader, but not so much that a wrong answer drops you below second place. Wekiai decides to wager $2,999. It's a smart move. If she's right, it puts significant pressure on the leader. Her answer is correct, and her score jumps up to a very impressive $7,599. She did everything she could to give herself a chance. A fantastic performance. But let's be honest, the true story of this match, the headline act, was Neelish Rinjamuri. From the very first clue, Neelish was on another level. He was quick on the buzzer, his knowledge was incredibly deep and broad, and he just dominated the board. He navigated through the categories with the confidence of a seasoned champion, racking up cash and building an absolutely massive lead. By the time the final commercial break ended, Neelish was sitting on a staggering $28,200. He had what we call a runaway game. He had played so brilliantly that mathematically he couldn't be caught. So, won that Final Jeopardy. Clue about John Bunyan's allegory was revealed. The real question wasn't whether Neelish knew the answer. Of course he knew it. You could see the look of quiet confidence on his face. He calmly wrote down Pilgrim's Progress, just like his competitors. The real drama, the real moment of strategic genius was in his wager. He could have bet big to show off to try and set a new one-day record. He could have made a sentimental bet. But Neelish is a strategist. He looked at the scores, did the quick math, and understood the situation perfectly. He didn't need to risk a single dollar, and so what did he wager? A big, beautiful zero. He risked nothing. Alex Trebek reveals his correct answer, then his wager, and the crowd applauds. With that calm, controlled, and incredibly intelligent decision, what did you all think of that final wager? Let me know in the comments below. And if you love breaking down amazing game show moments like this, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. Picture this. It's the Tournament of Champions quarterfinals on Jeopardy! The tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. After 2 intense rounds, the game all comes down to one final clue. The category is Latin phrases. Now, if you're a Jeopardy fan, this is one of those categories that can make or break a champion. It's a minefield of grammar and spelling where a single letter can change everything. Let's meet our players. First up, we have Mahal Shah, a medical student from Orlando, Florida. He's going into Final Jeopardy! Ken Jennings reveals the clue. In 1992, Queen Elizabeth II used this two-word term to describe a year that included 3 royal marital breakups and a castle fire. The music starts, and for the next 30 seconds, 3 brilliant minds are put to the ultimate test. This isn't just about knowing the answer. It's about strategy, confidence, and how much you're willing to risk. As the final notes of the Think music fade, it's time for the moment of truth. We start with Mahal Shah. He needs to get this right and bet big to have any chance. He reveals his response. What is Annus Horribilis? It looks good, almost. But wait, he spelled it he-o or I-s. He's missed the second I. In a category like Latin phrases, precision is everything. A single dropped vowel, and the meaning changes. Ken gives the tough news. I'm sorry, that is not correct. The judges can't accept it. And then we see his wager, $7,001. A huge bet. That costly spelling mistake drops his score all the way down to just $399. A tough break for Mahal. Finally, we turn to our leader, Will Stewart. And just like that, the game is turned completely on its head. Mahal is at $399. Will is at $900. And Ryan Manton, standing strong at $13,899, becomes the new Jeopardy! Champion and advances to the Tournament of Champions semifinals. He won without even getting the final answer, right? This game was a masterclass in strategy. It proves that Jeopardy! Isn't just about how much you know, it's about how you play the game. It's about knowing your own strengths and weaknesses, sizing up your opponents, and understanding the risk of every single wager. Ryan Manton's small defensive bet in a category he wasn't sure about was the single move that won him the entire game. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the smartest play is knowing when to hold back. What an incredible finish. Thanks for watching. If you love wild game show moments like this, be sure to like and subscribe for more. See you next time. A Final Jeopardy! Round that had everyone on the edge of their seats. You can feel that this single clue could change everything. Kevin, in a bold all or nothing move, wagers nearly everything he has. He bets $6,199. A truly tricky clue that required a deep dive into American history and geography. With that, Mark Fitzpatrick's score settles at $11,999. It's more than enough. Despite the incorrect answer, his strategic wager and strong performance throughout the game carry him through. The quarterfinals conclude on this unexpectedly dramatic and upbeat note, with a lesson in just how important that final wager can be. The pressure is only going to build from here as we head into the next stage of the competition. Who do you think has what it takes to go all the way? Let me know your predictions in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more recaps and analysis. We'll see you in the next one. What an absolutely wild finish we just witnessed in the Champions Wildcard Tournament, the category for Final Jeopardy. It was places of disaster, and it certainly lived up to its name for some of the contestants. Let's break down how this dramatic final round completely reshaped the game. First up, we have a Mark Hackard. He entered Final Jeopardy. Next to reveal their answer was Lucas Partridge. He was in a tricky position, and unfortunately, his response wasn't Krakatoa. It's always a tough moment when you see that the answer just didn't click. Lucas had wagered $1,989, a very specific number, perhaps with some personal meaning. With the incorrect answer, his total dropped from $7,400 down to $5,411. You have to feel for him. He played a solid game to get to this point, but Final Jeopardy can be absolutely brutal. It's a high-pressure situation, and sometimes the clues just don't land. But let's talk about the player who truly owned this game from start to finish. Drew Goins. Drew entered Final Jeopardy with a massive, commanding lead, sitting on a staggering $31,200. He had built up what we call a runaway game, meaning he was so far ahead that he couldn't be caught, even if the second place contestant doubled their score. He knew it, the other players knew it, and everyone watching at home knew it. He had already secured his victory before the final clue was even revealed. So, what did Drew do? He played it smart. He also came up with the correct response, Krakatoa, proving his dominance wasn't a fluke, and his wager? A very modest $808. This was a classic runaway game strategy. He didn't need to risk anything, so he made a small bet just to add a little something to his final total. With that, his score increased slightly to a final tally of $32,008. It was a masterclass performance. He played aggressively when he needed to, built an insurmountable lead, and then coasted to victory with a cool, calculated final move. With that win, Drew Goins officially advances to the semifinals with undeniable authority. He sent a clear message to the rest of the champions in this tournament. He is a force to be reckoned with. He's not just winning, he's dominating. His performance was a clinic in how to play modern Jeopardy at the highest level. This match officially kicks off the most intense phase of the tournament. The semifinals are here, and the stakes are getting higher with every single clue. We're going to see more incredible champions, more brilliant plays, and undoubtedly more nail-biting Final Jeopardy. Rounds just like this one. The competition is heating up, and if this game is any indication, we are in for an incredible ride. Who do you think has what it takes to go all the way? Let me know your predictions in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more recaps and analysis of the Champions Wildcard Tournament. You won't want to miss what happens next. The Jeopardy! Tournament of Champions. The tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. We're in the semifinals, and the category is countries of the world. 3 brilliant minds are on the verge of making it to the finals, but only one can advance from this game. The stakes have never been higher. Let's set the stage. We have Will Wallace, a formidable player who's fought tooth and nail to get here. He's clinging on by a thread, having barely scraped his way into Final Jeopardy. With just $200, it's an incredibly tough spot to be in. You have to bet it all, but you also have to be right. The pressure is immense. The clue is revealed, a real head-scratcher that has the contestants deep in thought, scribbling away as the iconic music plays. The moment of truth arrives. Will reveals his answer, Bhutan. A great guess, but unfortunately, incorrect. He wagered everything, all $200, and just like that, his score plummets to 0. A heartbreaking end to a fantastic run. You can see the disappointment on his face. He played a great game, but today, it just wasn't enough. It's a brutal reminder of how quickly fortunes can change on the Jeopardy stage. Next up is Ryan Manton. He's sitting in a much stronger position with $12,000. He looks confident. He's had a solid game, buzzing in with speed and accuracy. He needs to get this right and make a strategic wager to have a shot at winning. As the camera zooms in, we see his final answer. At the very last moment, he writes down North Korea. A pause hangs in the air. Ken Jennings delivers the verdict. That is correct. A wave of relief washes over Ryan, but the game isn't over. It all comes down to his wager. How much did he risk? He reveals his bet, $10,001. The math is quick. He now stands at a massive $22,001, a huge score and a very specific number. Why that extra dollar? It's a classic Jeopardy! Move designed to beat a competitor by the slimmest of margins. This puts him $1 ahead of Adriana Harmeyer, assuming she doubled her score. It's a masterful play, a calculated risk that could pay off big time. Ryan has done everything he possibly can to secure his spot. But wait, the game isn't over yet. We still have Adriana Harmeyer. She has been a dominant force throughout the tournament, and tonight is no exception. She started Final Jeopardy. In the lead with $22,000, she also looks calm, collected, and focused. She knows the answer, like Ryan. She correctly identifies North Korea. The entire game now hinges on one single thing, her wager. This is where the psychology of Jeopardy truly shines. Ryan's wager was designed to beat her if she bet everything. But Adriana is a veteran. She understands the nuances of the game, the strategic betting, the mind games. Did she go for the big double up, or did she play it safe? She reveals her wager, $3,000. A seemingly modest bet, but it's a stroke of genius. It is a safe bet that shows she was confident in her knowledge, but also prepared for any outcome. Adding her wager to her score, she finishes with an incredible $25,000. That single decision, that $3,000 wager, changes everything. It catapults her past Ryan's strategic play and makes her the undeniable winner of the game. With that victory, Adriana Harmeyer becomes the very first finalist of the Tournament of Champions. You can see the joy and relief on her face as it sinks in. She's one step closer to the ultimate prize. What an incredible display of knowledge, strategy, and nerve. From Will's unfortunate exit to Ryan's brilliant but ultimately unsuccessful gambit. And finally, Adriana's cool, calculated victory. This is what the Tournament of Champions is all about. The finals are now in sight. And with players like Adriana, it's shaping up to be an unforgettable showdown. Who will join her? We'll have to wait and see. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow for more incredible moments from the world of Jeopardy! Welcome back, quiz show fans. Today, we're diving into one of the most heart-stopping comebacks you will ever see. A moment that proves it's never over until the final clue is read. Picture this. The final round, the category is scientists' names. The pressure is immense and careers are on the line. Our first contestant, Amy Hummel, has a respectable $5,600. The clue is revealed. A tricky one about the etymology of a famous scientist's name. Amy, looking for a big score, wagers nearly everything she has, $5,599 to be exact. She writes down her answer, goose. Unfortunately, it's incorrect. In an instant, her impressive total plummets to just one single dollar. You can feel the collective gasp from the audience. It's a devastating blow, a gamble that just didn't pay off. Her journey in the tournament hangs by a thread. Now, the spotlight shifts to Isaac Hirsch. He's in second place with a solid $13,600. He's seen what happened to Amy, so the pressure is on him to get it right. He needs to be both smart and strategic. The clue revolves around the Dutch name Leeuwenhoek. Isaac carefully considers his answer. He writes down, lion. The host pauses, and then confirms ... is correct. Antony van Leeuwenhoek, the father of microbiology, has a name that literally translates from Dutch as Lion's Corner. It's a brilliant piece of trivia, and Isaac nailed it. His wager? A confident but calculated $4,000. This brings his total to a commanding $17,600. He's not just safe. He's suddenly in a very strong position. But wait, there's still our leader, Mark Fitzpatrick. Mark has been leading the game, playing confidently throughout. He has the most money, but even the leader isn't immune to the pressure of the final round. He reads the clue, thinks it over, and jots down his response. The camera pans to his screen, and it's incorrect. He misses the clue entirely. Now, everything comes down to his wager. How much did he risk? The number is revealed, and it's a significant amount. So significant, in fact, that his total drops below Isaac's. Mark, who led for most of the game, suddenly finds himself in second place. And just like that, the entire game is turned on its head. Isaac Hirsch, who started the final round in second place, completes a stunning come-from-behind victory. He not only wins the match, but also secures his spot in the finals. It's an incredible moment of triumph, a testament to his knowledge and nerve. He didn't have the most money going in, but he had the right answer when it mattered most. This match is a perfect example of why we love these competitions. It's not just about knowing a lot of facts. It's about strategy, risk management, and holding your nerve under intense pressure. One single word, one seemingly obscure piece of information, can be the difference between going home and advancing to the finals. It shows that no lead is ever truly safe. Anyone can have a bad final round, and any challenger can rise to the occasion. Isaac's win sends a powerful message to all the other competitors in the tournament. Every single clue matters. From the first question to the last, you have to be on your A game. It reminds us that knowledge is power, but so is strategy. Amy's massive wager was a high-risk, high-reward move that didn't pan out, while Isaac's more moderate bet, combined with the correct answer, was the perfect recipe for success. What an incredible finish. It makes every upcoming match feel that much more exciting. We now know that anything can happen. A single word, a single answer, can change everything. Who do you think has what it takes to go all the way? Let me know your predictions in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more recaps of the most thrilling moments in quiz show history. We'll see you next time. He's had a fantastic run, showing incredible knowledge and poise. He put down Valley of the Kings. Fortunately for Drew, he wagered lightly, only $1,085. Finally, all eyes were on Neelish Finjamori. He had the lead going into Final Jeopardy. But in this game, anything can happen. What was his answer? He also wrote Valley of the Queens. Wait, hold on. My apologies. Let me correct that. Drew Basil's answer was indeed incorrect, but I misstated what Neelish wrote. Let's rewind and get that critical moment, alright? Drew Goins with Valley of the Kings was incorrect. Then we had Drew Basil, who actually wrote down Valley of the Kings as well. My mistake there in the heat of the moment. So, both Drews went for the modern name, and both were incorrect. Drew Basil's wager dropped him down. So it all came down to Neelish. What did he have on his screen? He had written ... absolutely nothing. He blanked on the answer, a complete blank. With the lead, he knew he didn't need to risk it all. But what was his wager? He bet 0. A big, beautiful 0. He didn't risk a single dollar. His score remained a mighty $26,800. Now, let's reveal the correct response. The ancient name for the Valley of the Kings was Biben el Muluk, which translates to the Gates of the Kings. A super tough clue, and none of our champions managed to pull it out. But because of his strategic wager, Neelish Finjamori is the winner. By betting nothing, he secured his victory and his spot in the Tournament of Champions finals. It wasn't about knowing the answer. It was about knowing how to play the game. He outwagered his opponents, playing the odds perfectly. An incredible display of strategy. So, Neelish advances, and the stage is set for an epic final showdown. This Tournament of Champions has been one for the ages, filled with brilliant players and unforgettable moments. The endgame is here, and we're about to see who will be crowned the ultimate champion. This is what high-level Jeopardy is all about. It's a combination of knowledge, speed, and that crucial betting strategy. Congratulations to Neelish on a masterful win. Thanks for watching this recap with me. Who are you rooting for in the finals? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more Jeopardy analysis. We'll be covering every moment of the finals right here. See you next time.